and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making this journal. It is probably the simplest journal that you could ever make. You're only going to need a few things. You're going to need your 6x6 paper. So any 6x6 paper pad will work. You don't have to do any cutting on it, except for one page needs to be cut. But you can choose whatever you got. This is just some random florals that I have. I have a whole bunch of these 6x6s I've purchased myself, and I had some given to me. So this is the perfect journal for that. And then you're going to need one extra piece of 6x6 to create the binding here. So how this is made is we're taking, let's see if I can find a page that shows it better. So we're taking your 6x6s and we're scoring it at 1/2 inch on the left side of your page. So you're going to take the left side of your page and score it at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to fold it, and I'm going to show you all of this a certain way, and they're all folded the same way except for the last one. So your second to last page, so this is like your last page, and then this page is going to be cut at 1/2 inch, and you're going to glue this page to that page, and then your back page to this page. Because if you had just scored this, you can do that, but it would make this much thicker than it needs to be. So I'm going to explain all of that when I get to the tutorial. So that's what it looks like. Very simple. You can use it for journaling. You can use it for a glue book, junk journals, whatever it is that you would like. You could use like 8.5 by 11. You could use 12 by 12 and cut it down to 6 inches. As long as, you could probably use any size that you want and do the same concept, but we're using 6x6 today. This is going to be my binding color because I have mostly a lot of greens in here, and I just picked out a bunch of random ones from my stack over there. So you're just going to take your pages, and you're going to need, the things that you're going to need, some way of gluing it. I am using double-sided tape. You can use stick glue if you wanted, wet glue, whatever. I just find that the double-sided tape works best, and I don't have to sit there and hold it forever waiting for it to dry. You're going to need some sort of pick if you're using the double-sided tape, because it's really hard to get this paper off without a pick. But if you're using regular glue, you won't need that. You're also going to need a scoreboard and a paper cutter. I have this really nice one that I got for my birthday this last year. That's a scoreboard and a paper cutter together. If you do not have a scoreboard, you can just mark it at 1/2 inch and just fold it. What I would do is I would mark it at 1/2 inch here and at 1/2 inch on the other side, and then take it like this and fold it to those lines. But since I have a scoreboard, I'm going to go ahead and use that. So what I'm going to do, I'm hoping, I don't think I'm going to be able to get this in frame, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 1/2 inch from the left side, and I'm going to score that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and show you what it looks like. So what you need to do is just measure it, or just line it up with one of the numbers, and then go 1/2 inch from there. It doesn't matter. So I don't know if you can see that. I scored it there. So the scoring just makes it easier to fold. And then you're going to fold it to the opposite side. So I've decided this is my cover. I'm going to be folding it to the other side. And you're going to do that you're going to fold that the same way with all of your pages except for the last page. With the last page, you're going to fold the opposite way. So I'm going to go ahead and score all of my pages, and then we'll move on to the next step in our little process here. So just folding to the inside page. So I'm going to go ahead and score all of these pages, and then I'll come back and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so these are my last 2 pages. So I went ahead and scored this one. This is my last page. This is going to be my back cover. So instead of folding it like this, that way, I'm going to fold it like this way. So it's the opposite of what the others are. And then this is my second to last page. I've marked it at 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to cut it there. So I've just cut my 1/2 inch, so that will be able to glue to that and still be the same size. Okay, so we're done with our scoreboard for now, and I've kept my pages in order, and I'm just going to grab them from there. So what I like to do is I like to use double-sided tape, and I'm going to put probably 2 rows of double-sided tape there because mine's kind of skinny. To go ahead and pull this first. I hope that I'm in frame. So just like that. If you're using glue, you can just take that flap and put your glue on that flap, and then we're going to attach it to the next page. So this is my next page. So I'm going to fold that over like that and try and line this up the best that I can. So just like that. And that's what your pages are going to look like. So you're going to do the same thing with the next page. You're going to put your glue or whatever on this flap and attach it to this page. So I'll go ahead and do a couple more. I'm not a very precise crafter. I try to be as precise as I can be, but I do realize that even though these say they're 6 by 6, they may not be completely exact. So keep that in mind. You can always trim some off if you need to. So how I like to do it is I line up this corner, and then I try to line up this corner before it sticks, if that makes any sense. So just like that. And then I'm just going to continue on attaching my pages to each other, just like that. And then I will come back when I am at my last 2 pages. Okay, we're to the last 2 pages. So this is our page that we cut. And we're just going to stick it on just like we have the others. So I'm just going to line it up with that edge like that. And then this is our last page, and we're going to stick it with the flap down so it looks like that. And how to do this with, and I just line it up with the edge. Just like that. So that is what our book looks like. You can see mine's a little askew because I was hurrying and I didn't get it lined up perfectly, but that really doesn't bother me. So we're going to need our last piece of paper, and what we're going to do is we're just going to line it up with our book, wrap it around, and kind of get an estimate of where we need to cut it. And then I'm going to make a little mark. And I'm just going to cut this piece where I marked it. And you don't even have to do this step if you don't want to. I just think it brings the book together a lot more than being like this. It looks a lot nicer when you have a nice binding on it. You can measure this out and score it and everything. I just normally fold my piece in half, and that kind of gives me an estimate of where my center's at, and I kind of just line it up with my book the best that I can. And then I just want to look and see that I'm getting this in the right spot. So what I need to do is I kind of give it a little pinch where my edge is at on both sides. And that tells me where I need to stick my tape. And then I'll just kind of fold it a little bit. Where I did those little pinch marks. And I just need to put my tape in that space right there. So And we don't want to stick any tape in the center section because we don't want our binding to interfere with the way that our book flips. So I'm just sticking it on the outer sections that are attaching to the front and the back. Okay, so I'm just going to take off one side at a time. And I have my center there again, so I know that I want to line up center the best that I can. So just like that, and then I'll take off the other side. Hope that I'm in frame. And then I'm just going to do the same. So that is what it should look like. Hopefully yours is a little straighter than mine. Apparently I can't do anything straight today. But your spine should look like that. It should be free and only attached to the top and bottom, or the front and back cover. You should be able to see down the edge where your binding's at. So this is what it looks like. You should be able to open it freely and not have any issues. It should lay flat. Well, depending on how many pages you have will depend on how flat it is, but it still should lay fairly flat. And if you get your book a little off-centered like I have, you can easily just trim up those pages and it'll be fine. I'm really not that fussed about it. I'm going to use these as collage pages anyway, and that is what the last page looks like. It's just our single page here, kind of sandwiched in between these two little flaps, and that's the back. So like I said, if you got a little off-centered like I did, you can easily just take scissors and trim that off. I'm not really fussed about it. If it really bothers you, go ahead and do that, but it doesn't bother me. So I hope that you guys like this, and I will see you next time. Bye!